Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to another edition of the CMJ World Vlogs. I am August C. Jones, and so I wanted to talk about some more stuff. Of course, I'm wearing the same clothes, so I don't know which video gonna go out first, whether it's this video or the video I'm talking about James Gunn and DC, whatever. But I got some more stuff I want to talk about. So, it kind of like, I guess you could say, bothers me the fact that, so I'm a Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I'm not a hardcore super duper fan. I'm not one of those people that read the manga and just deep dive into there. Like, I don't have a Dragon Ball like channel where I'm just exclusively talking about Dragon Ball, like Geekdom 101 or just a lot of other people, which I do actually really like Geekdom 101's channel. Like his stuff is really good. I really do it. If you haven't checked it out, then definitely go ahead and check that out. But it's other people, I think Seth the Programmer and some other people that talk about Dragon Ball that I really do like. And it's like one thing that is kind of like one of the, I guess you could say, a upsetting thing about the Dragon Ball whole Dragon Ball thing. It's just simply the time gap and when we have from one series to the next. Like, what was it? The last series for Dragon Ball Super, the anime, came out in what, 2015 to maybe 2017, or I don't know. It went on and it came out that long ago. And we're here in 2023 and we still haven't gotten a Dragon Ball Super manga. We haven't gotten a Dragon Ball Super anime yet. And we're getting the manga. Like, the manga is still being written. I haven't got caught up on like the latest chapters with the the Trunks and Goten arc where they're in high school and like their adventure, which I hear that's kind of like a filler thing. And I believe that they're getting, I don't know what they're getting into. I think they're getting into the Dragon Ball superhero arc in the manga right now. But I've gotten caught up to all the way to the end of when we got to first see Black Frieza. I got caught up into that point when they took a break with the manga. And it kind of got me thinking that when it comes to Dragon Ball, and I don't know if this is with like a whole bunch of other mangas, but I know they do things very differently in Japan than they do in America. And maybe it's just my American way of thinking in the way that they do certain things, when they adapt certain things or whatever. But it just got me thinking. So why in the world don't they, when they cover one arc, start immediately working on the anime for that arc? And that way, even though, let's say we're 2 arcs later in the manga, that first arc could be already out in anime. And like the episodes, they drag the episodes out with a problem, a conflict that can last, like the Namek fight with Goku and Frieza. That was 5 minutes before the planet was to explode, but yet they stretched it out for a whole gang load of episodes. And like, when you break it down, they fight fast. So yeah, that's the reason why all of that was covered in 5 minutes. But it's like, even if you take the moral arc and you make it to anime, you have a good 30, 40 something episodes right then and there that you could already have had released or still be releasing right now. And then bam, by the time that's done, maybe it's some months later, maybe it's like 5, maybe 6 months later, bam, you got another arc. You got the Granola arc going all the way to Black Frieza. And then you can do it like that instead of waiting for everything to be done before you start putting out the anime. Because it leaves that long gap that we as fans, because not everybody reads the manga. It's a lot of like Dragon Ball Z fans that's really just casual. I will say that I am a casual Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super fan. Like I said, I'm not a hardcore one, but I am a casual one. where I do watch YouTube channels, Unreal Link Gaming. He does a great job in what he does. Is that he will read the manga in a dramatization, kind of like Comic Storian. And it, like, even if you're listening to it, it's like you can visualize what's happening. And he has the panels on the page and he's reading it dramatically. So I love that element, and that's how I get caught up on it. And then I listen to other channels and what their thoughts on it and everything else. But it's like, I don't understand why they just don't do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's probably a lot more stuff that goes into it, but it's like you're making the fans wait a long ass time for a manga to get finished so that we can get the anime. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they gave us Dragon Ball Superhero, but like, how many of those movies are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna give us a Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super movie, like one every year, to tide us over until the anime starts? Like, I just feel like it would be, in my mind, it would be more efficient that every arc that you're done with, just start working on the anime. Maybe you start working on the anime as the arc is being written and start trying to get things together. That way you'll have a lot done, and then you could try and get the anime out as soon as possible. I mean, and I'm just saying, don't rush it. I mean, of course, put great animation into that portion of the manga and just call it like the Moral Arc Part 1, Dragon Ball Super Series Part 2, or something, like, I don't know, whatever. But I mean, of course, make it like, yeah, this is what it is, because you have different seasons of shows in America where you have one season, even though they don't really give names to seasons. Not too many shows do it. They just season 2, season 3. But if you were to give a name to it, you could say the Moral Arc. You could say Dragon Ball Super, the Granola Arc, or something like that. And like, just go with it like that. That way you will have at least a Dragon Ball anime every other year. You know, you could do something like that. And instead of having people wait like 6-7 years to see another Dragon Ball anime, like, it's just, it's weird. Maybe I'm the only person that think this way. Maybe y'all have different ideals and points of view of like how they could do things differently. But I just feel like that's one of the best ways to go, is to do it in that sense. I mean, because I don't know about y'all, but just me, I would love to see another, Dragon Ball anime. I truly would love to see that. And I feel like they have it in the cards to where they could do something like that. And that would make it just extremely dope to have, an anime come out this year. And then maybe one come out toward the end of next year, or maybe around this time next year, or something like that. Like, they can do it, but for some reason they just don't. So I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority when it comes to that, maybe I'm not, but just let me know, just let me know what y'all think. But yeah. But also another thing that I wanted to touch on before I just completely in this video, it's just the fact that it's like, I know Dragon Ball has a lot of filler episodes when it comes to the manga and all that, and I just started kind of rewatching Dragon Ball Super, just kind of skipping over and just looking at what they've done with the series and like just the filler episodes. And yeah, I can't help but to really like notice and think of the fact that when it comes to Dragon Ball, they have a whole plethora of characters. And I kind of talk about this a little bit on my Dragon Ball Superhero review that I put up not too long ago. But they have a whole plethora of characters that they can pluck from and do stories on. But for some reason, they keep doing Goku and Vegeta and maybe sometimes here and there, like a little bit of Gohan, which they're starting to dibble dabble more into than they've done within the past years or whatnot. And same with Piccolo, is getting his just due, you know. But it's like people can say they're like, oh well, you know, Yamcha, you know, he's the butt of the joke, and you know how Tien, I don't think anybody care about Tien and blah blah blah. But that's only because there hasn't been no compelling story thrown their way. Like, I guarantee you, if you took 10 of those filler episodes that you would give to a story that doesn't even matter for the overall thing, guarantee you, if you gave that to Tien or Yamcha, let's just say Yamcha, gave that to him and gave him like a compelling arc, maybe just something where it's just him by himself and he has to prove to himself that he's a warrior just as good as Goku and Vegeta, even though we all know he's not. But you know, he can have it in himself to pump himself up and, you know, write a compelling story where he meets a villain that is like just overmatched him and he gets powerful. And you can do that with Yamcha. You can do that with like other characters. You can have a story arc with Krillin and 18 that go on the adventure, or maybe they got to save their daughter and they come up and it's only just them two and they come up against a big villain and maybe 17 is there. You know, just something like that that will test them and get them, like, get their, you know, not give them a new form, because there is a lot of forms being thrown around nowadays, but just give them a power up. Make Krillin way stronger than what he is, because even though Krillin has shown that he's gotten stronger and everything else, it's like at this point, Krillin, I don't think really too many people take Krillin serious. He's not a person that when you look at Dragon Ball, you think is a person that's going to, you know, be able to save the world. And he's been really show-lighted like that. And I feel like it's about time that they focus on Krillin and start making him more of a main serious character and give him more of a power-up and give him just more to work with, especially working with 18. Like, I just don't understand it. Like if it was me, not only would I do like what I was just talking about with the manga, you know, taking a certain arc, putting that out and everything else, but if you're going to have filler episodes because you want to have so many episodes within the series, it's like, why not give 12 episodes to Krillin and 18 and 17 and they're going on an adventure? Maybe give 6 to 8 episodes to Yamcha, give him a compelling story so that, you know, he won't be the butt of the jokes. Maybe give something to Tien, give something to Master Roshi. You know, I mean, what? Maybe not Master Roshi, but you get what I'm saying. You know, give them a chance to shine. Something that shows that they are credible. Because when you look at it, it's like having a team of fighters, but you can't depend on them. I don't understand why you have that. I mean, you got people like 17 and 18, which I will probably be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab them. And Boo, yeah, of course, Boo. But if he falls asleep, what the fuck y'all gonna do? You know, so it's kind of one of those things where when you look at the Z fighters, you have to, like, they're just cannon fodder, you know, essentially. Without completely dying, they're just cannon fodder. They're there to hold off the enemy until Goku and Vegeta gets there. And now you can say until Gohan and fucking Piccolo get there. So it's like, oh, I need to get over. So it's like, I don't understand why they just don't try to make them more powerful, give them more depth, give them more of a story. That way you can deviate the story from there, because the show essentially isn't called Goku and Vegeta Save the World or Goku and Vegeta Save the Universe. It's called Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z, whatever. So it's revolving around a cast of characters. If you have like 12, 13, 14 characters and you're not using every single one of them to its full potential, then what's the point of having them? Just think if we had protectors in real life. Let's say we have protectors in the world, that fighters that if anything came from outer space, aliens that try to take over, they're there to fight, but we can't depend on them to defeat them. Just think of how worthless that sounds, how useless that sounds. So I feel like more more energy, more time needs to go into developing these characters more, giving them more something to work with, and just seeing where it goes. I mean, it's no problem. It's no harm in doing a lot for these characters, and it not working out. You can literally put a lot into it, and if the fans reject it, then lean off of it. But they haven't really given these characters a chance to really kind of showcase what they're made of. And I'm not talking about what they did in the past with Dragon Ball, the original series, but I'm just talking about now. Because like when you think of Dragon Ball Z, you don't think of Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, these other people. Like, you think of Goku, Vegeta, maybe Gohan, maybe Piccolo, but that's literally all of what it comes to. That's it. That's entirely it. So I don't know. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more love given to the other characters. Maybe it's just me. I don't care, but that's just how I feel. I would love to see that. But in any case, that will wrap up this video. I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around with me and listening to me babble on about Dragon Ball Super and what they're doing and what they're not doing. And if you guys like this video and you're still here up to this point, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe. If you're not, hit the notification bell for more videos like this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace out, stay safe, and give more love to the supporting people in your life, because you never know when the world may need saving, and they may not be there to fight off the aliens, and they're waiting on you, but you're off on another planet, maybe training and in a hyperbolic time chamber, and you just can't be there, and they might end up dying, and it's going to be your fault. So give them more love, please.